Hello and welcome to my video. This is discussing the top 10 Xbox 360 games of 2010. Now, I've compiled a list of the games I enjoyed the most this year, and for me Xbox 360 definitely had the best games this year. Not too much better than the other two consoles, but I think Xbox definitely enjoyed its best year yet in video gaming. So to start off the list, number 10 is Alan Wake. A game which I think had a lot of hype about it. I didn't really look into it too much before it was released. I was just aware that it was going to be released, but a game that I did really enjoy. Number 9, Bioshock 2. Again, I hadn't played the first one when this came out, so a couple of months before it came out I played the first one, really enjoyed it, and then bought the second one and again absolutely loved it. Number 8, Fable 3. Now I really love the Fable series, and I love role-playing games. With the Fable series, this one wasn't as good as I was hoping it to be. It's not that much of an improvement over Fable 2, so when the reviews came out and I was a little bit disappointed with them, I didn't buy the game straight away, so I waited until it had been reduced, and then I got more for my money. I felt it was a really good game still. But I was hoping it'd have a little bit more change to it. Number 7 was Dead Rising 2. I loved the first Dead Rising that came out. It was quite a few years ago now, actually. There's a few small issues with it. For me, the main one being the writing on the screen. It was just so hard to read. I'm not sure if there was a patch for it or a fix, but it really put me off the game. But the actual core gameplay of it, I really did enjoy. So with this one, I definitely picked it up, and I really liked the game. Definitely, a different game rather than just a shooting game or a role-playing game or a racing game, which are usually the games I get the most. And definitely a surprise of 2010 for me. Number 6 is Halo Reach, closely followed by number 5, which is Call of Duty Black Ops. Now both these games came out quite close to each other, and I really enjoyed them both. Not too much to say about them really, everyone's probably played them, but yeah, really good games. For me, I think it'd be better if they came out slightly more separated. If we could have like Halo Reach and 6 months later Call of Duty and then so forth, but it's good to have two games which are so good, come out so near each other still, I guess. Number 4 is Red Dead Redemption. Now, I didn't play the first Red Dead game on, I think it was PS2 and Xbox back in the day, so I don't know if the story really follows on or anything like that, but this game I really enjoyed. Wasn't too sure if I was going to get it, but the reviews just seemed really good for it, and I love the team behind the game, so for me it was definitely a must-have game. Really enjoyed it, probably more than I thought I would. Spent about 30 hours playing it, and definitely for me would be the game that surprised me the most in 2010. Now number 3 is Mass Effect 2. It's my top 3. Now the first Mass Effect I really enjoyed. I got it for when did it come out? I think it came out at the end of 2007, so I got it for Christmas that year. I played it, I didn't complete the game. Then I tried to play it again later, I guess in 2008, and I didn't complete it again. And then I finally played it and completed it the third time I tried. And I must say the second half of the story is just amazing. The first half was good, but obviously the fact that it took me 3 times to go through the game means it's obviously not as gripping as I would have liked it to have been, but definitely became one of my favourite games once I actually completed it. So I was really hyped for Mass Effect 2, which came out, I think it was January the 26th this year, and for me it's just an amazing game. All you have to do is read the reviews. I know for a lot of people, gaming websites, it was a lot of their game of the year. And for me, just an amazing game that if you have an Xbox 360, you should definitely pick up. Obviously after Mass Effect 1, but I know you can get this game now new and sealed for a ridiculously cheap price in the first one. You can probably get the pair for £20, $30. So definitely a pickup if you like role-playing games mixed with shooting games. Now number 2 is a game which is higher in my list because I love the topic, but if you don't, then I probably wouldn't recommend it as much, but I'll describe more in a second. It's F1 2010 on the Xbox 360, also came out on the PS3, and this was released, I think, September 24th this year. A really fun racing game, but it's a game that I would struggle to recommend to anyone that doesn't like F1, simply because you may become quite bored of the cars and the tracks a lot quicker, because obviously you only get to race on, like, I think it's 18 or 19 the tracks that you get with the game, and you only get to race in the 10 different cars, which are slightly different, but obviously when you play like games like Forza and Gran Turismo, obviously there's pretty much the same cars in this game. So a game I would struggle to recommend to anyone that doesn't like F1 unless you can get it cheap, but I think it's still selling at near retail price at the moment, so I wouldn't pick it up just yet in case you get disappointed. But if you love F1 games, then for me it just rockets up to being an amazing game, amazing graphics. Had a few bugs when it first came out, but I think they released a patch, might have been the start of December, to fix most of that. And now it's just an amazing game. The online racing is really fun, especially if you can find a group of people that race fair and clean. And yeah, if you love F1, then this is just a must-have. I've got the official Xbox 360 steering wheel, and it makes the game so much better. It's okay with the controller. I think people that are always using the controller might have got used to it, but whenever I try the controller, which is just a couple of times, I can't be bothered to put my wheel in. It was quite hard, and I got frustrated quite quick. So definitely, if you can get the wheel, although I know they're quite expensive now. So F1 2010, my number 2 game for 2010, but I probably, if I was rating them all as a reviewer, wouldn't put it that high up, but for me, number 2. Now number 1 probably has the same sort of thing as F1 2010, where I've pushed it forward because I absolutely loved it, but if I was putting this list forwards to most people as a game recommendation, I'm not sure I would put it as the official best game for the Xbox for 2010. But it's Final Fantasy 13. This came out March 9th, I think it was, and I got it, I think, a couple of weeks later. I didn't get it straight away. The reviews for it were very mixed, really. It was a game that I was probably the most anticipated for this year, so I looked at pretty much every review that came out, and some were 9 out of 10, and then a few of them were like 5 out of 10. So I was really hyped for the game, but a little bit confused as to whether I would like it or not. But definitely glad I picked it up. I absolutely loved it. The story was amazing, a little bit complex. I think basically you get I'm not sure what it's called now, but if you go into like the menus, you get like a little bit where you can read about the latest happenings in the game, and a bit about the characters and stuff. And I did read through them whenever they appeared, and I'm not sure if I didn't read through them that I would understand the story as much and wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. So I think it's a game that you need to have a little bit of patience with. But the graphics are amazing. It's a lot longer than I expected it to be. I thought they might go for an amazing graphical game that's actually ends up to be quite short, but for me it took me 55 hours, I think, to complete, and I think I stopped after the final boss. I haven't really gone and beaten any of like the super strong enemies or anything, but it's a game that for me, I am trying to get to the time to play it again, so that's how good it was. And for me, it's a game that if you love role-playing games, you should definitely pick it up now, because again, it's another game like Mass Effect 2 that you can get for super cheap now, even though it only came out less than a year ago. You can get it used for under £10. Probably, I don't know what it's like in America, but if it's the same over here on eBay, they're only selling for like £10, or you can get it new for 15. So definitely pick it up. It's worth taking the risk because it is an amazing game, and my #1 game of 2010 for the Xbox 360. So like I said at the start of the video, the Xbox 360 has had a really, really good year for video games. They also released the Kinect this year, which I haven't personally got. I was thinking about upgrading my Xbox 360 to the Slim one because there was a really good deal online which had the new, I think it was the 4GB one with the Kinect for £210. But I decided against it. I think I might upgrade my Xbox later this year if I can find a deal that's as good and if some much better Kinect games come out. But I think I read the Xbox sold 8 million, I think, in 60 days of the Kinect units. I guess probably they've counted the ones that come with an Xbox as well, which I guess they can count them. But so for them, they've obviously made a lot of money from them, and they've had a really good year of the Xbox. Sales are doing really well, and let's just hope 2011 is as good. For me, I only got a PlayStation 3 a couple of months ago, so I didn't invest in a whole bunch of PlayStation games this year, so I can't do a video on that. But I will also be doing a video on the Wii for the best games of 2010, so look out for that, and thank you for watching my video.